After a trade deadline that teased some of the wildest moves we've seen in a while, we wind up heading back into the winter split with almost the same roster we began with in North America. Everyone knows about the drama that happened with the pump-faked moves from Rise, Calm, and Magic Bear, but one player flew under the radar as an apparent target for multiple teams, and that was TwoPiece of Shopify Rebellion. Jaden TwoPiece Horton is a 16-year-old player who is in his second season as a main event RLCS pro, spending last season with randoms alongside Chronic and Knight, who now play for Genji and KOI respectively. TwoPiece and randoms put themselves on the map with two main event showings, stomping NRG in Swiss and making the playoffs in one of those two outings. This was at a time where Chronic said they weren't really taking things too seriously, which he talked about in episode 22 of the Chalkcast if you want to hear more. Since then, TwoPiece has become a hot commodity. Not only was he the centerpiece of the org Shopify Rebellion's second team in the scene, but also he was someone who was targeted during this most recent trade window. According to Achilles, who leads operations at Shift, TwoPiece was reached by multiple teams who were interested in poaching the young star. Fortunately for Shopify, TwoPiece apparently shot down all requests, being very content with his current situation alongside Season 3 veteran Memory and equivalent RLCS newcomer Parth. TwoPiece never so much as engaged conversations or took any tryouts, and Shopify's fall split tells us a bit more about why this underdog team wants to run it back. Now, before we talk about TwoPiece as an individual player, I'd like to give some more context around Shopify's fall split. At the outset, this team was overlooked. They weren't even invited to the top 16 qualifier to start the season, and instead they had to punch through the closed qualifiers to get the ball rolling. Since then, they've been competitive in North America. They currently sit 10th in points, being one of 13 squads to attend all three main events. Rebellion have taken big wins off teams like Version 1, Dignitas, and Rogue, but unfortunately they haven't been able to overcome top teams that have laid ahead of them. In the 60 games they've played, SR have won 47% of those games. A big part of their efforts have been centered around TwoPiece, who is a ton of fun to watch. His game feels really fluid, and he seems to play at a speed where he's never caught off guard by the plays he's required to make. His best moments seem to be when he's on offense, creating goal line 50s against his opponents. He often positions precisely for a mid-air dunk goal. TwoPiece absolutely crunches the ball out of his own half on clears. He can find players for passes, whether they're coming off the ceiling or off the sidewalls. He positions off ball behind defenders. He's usually trying to, it seems like, hide in their blind spots. So while Memory or Parth are making a play on the ball, TwoPiece will be on the opposite side of the field, and he's looking to kind of, wedge himself in and kind of sneak in for a look. He gets up to balls fast, whether that's clearing them, whether it's getting up to make a scoring opportunity, whether it's for a mid-air midfield 50. He's always there rapidly. If you only have time to watch this replay I'm showing you now and one other, I strongly recommend Game 4 overtime versus FaZe. I'm pretty sure it's Regional 1 playoff quarterfinals. TwoPiece is all over it. Delivering the 10th highest rating in North America during the fall split, TwoPiece's 0.7 goals per game is well above average, and his 2.15 saves per game placed him second in the region per game. You know I'm a stickler for high efficiency shooting. His 25% shooting on one of the lowest shot per game averages in North America is something that you just love to see. All this has helped Shopify to be fourth in goals per game, behind G2 and ahead of Space Station at around 2 goals per game. As a unit, they're fifth in North America in assists, saves, shots, and shooting percentage, and Shopify is allowing one of the lowest opponent shooting percentages in the region at 21%. A big part of this is definitely due to TwoPiece's goal line heroics. To add to the low opponent shooting percentage, they've allowed one of the highest opponent shot attempts per game in North America. So when you combine those two things, they're allowing a ton of shots, but giving up only a few goals, which is a welcome sign for a team who's sticking together and looking to build on their previous split. While I don't anticipate Shopify breaking through to a major within a flush with teams looking to repeat or reach their first major of the season, they shouldn't be counted out. I think setting a strong baseline of attending every main event is something they should repeat, and the group stage format will allow them more bites at some top teams. Beginning to win some of these matchups will be a welcome sign for this team moving forward, and being a gatekeeper as the region shakes around you is totally fine for now. I currently have them 10th on my North American power rankings heading into the split, right between Optic and Team Axel, but we've seen what happens when you underrate Shopify, so I won't be surprised at all if I'm too low on them. If they overachieve, I think a massive reason will be due to TwoPiece's continued growth. What do you think of TwoPiece as a player? Could he be the centerpiece of a major-bound team in the future? I'm interested to hear your thoughts below. As always, I hope you have a great rest of your day, and until next time, take it easy.